Gosei Sentai Dairanger!
Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my Gosei Sentai Dairanger episode commentary and reviews. This time it's episode 36, a 6,000-year-old grudge. And remember, if you enjoy what you see, please remember to like and subscribe, and maybe even drop a comment down below on what you thought of the episode. Speaking of, let's get into it. The episode opens with a hiker slipping and falling, landing near a lake as a peacock mirage flies over. Later, the Dairangers are eating and watching TV as they hear his story of being saved by a peacock mirage. As Daigo makes to leave, Ryu asks if something's wrong with the gyoza, but Daigo replies it could have something to do with Kujaku. Elsewhere, Count Kaleidoscope is performing a ritual as he stops and Gaara approaches, as he announces she has appeared, as he shows Gaara an image of Kujaku. At the lake, Kujaku stops to smell the flowers as she's attacked by flowers and vines, but just as she's being pulled off, Daigo arrives, cutting the vines and saving her. They join up with the others as Ryu asks if the sacred tear is really there, as Kujaku confirms, saying it could be using the flowers for defense, and if they can't overcome the danger, the tear may not accept them. Daigo says he will go with Kujaku, as Rin says they're all going, and as Kujaku starts to tell them about the tear, Kaleidoscope is performing another ritual, and his ki is detected by Master Kaki. As the group continue, they get attacked by the trees, forcing them on until they find Gaara in a field. As the Rangers transform and fight the Copatros, Kujaku takes on Gaara, with Daigo protecting her, as Gaara swears by her scar she won't get the sacred tear before leaving. That night, Daigo asks about the scar, and Kujaku explains that long ago they were both in the Dai tribe, when an accident happened and Gaara received the scar protecting Kujaku. With her friends hurt, Kujaku decides to train in order to get the peacock power in order to heal Gaara, but when the two tribes go to war, she finds that Gaara betrayed the Dai tribe. The next day, the Rangers are attacked by lightning followed by a rock slide, as Kujaku loses another feather and the Rangers surround her before being hit by the rocks. But a meditating Master Kaki is able to send the boulders away before appearing to the Rangers, telling them everything they have seen is all illusions by the Gorma, most likely to draw out Kujaku, as Daigo notices she's missing. Kujaku awakes in a cave where she spots the sacred tear and she staggers towards it. As she picks it up and begs it for life, Daigo arrives, throwing it away, before the illusion fades and it becomes a skull with a snake in it. As the other Rangers arrive, Count Kaleidoscope appears and creates a cave-in, but the Rangers dispel the illusion with their ki, causing a feedback on the Count. As the Gorma struggles to get to its feet, Gaara appears saying he let his guard down, before Daigo asks why she joined the Gorma, saying she left because Kujaku betrayed her after she got the scar, and refusing to listen to Kujaku's excuses, and blasting them before the Rangers transform, and Daigo battles Count Kaleidoscope with his Dairinken and his illusion powers, creating Kujaku on a bicycle, before calling on the Super Bazooka and blasting the Gorma. As the Count grows giant, the Rangers summon their beasts and form Dairano. Attacking the Gorma, they quickly finish it off. While down below, Kujaku loses another feather as Daigo arrives, swearing to bring her the sacred tear, as he holds her close, and the episode ends. Okay, so Kujaku's back again. Now, I've said before, she's really not my favourite of the supporting characters, although she's really not as bad this time. So she's sort of getting better as a character. She's not as ridiculous as before. Before I get into other bits, though, I want to say the mountain climber who's rescued by the Peacock Mirage right at the start of the episode is actually portrayed by, and I'm probably going to mess up the pronunciation here, Yoshihiro Fukuda, who would later portray Minoru Yusogi. Like I said, I'm going to mess it up. Who was basically Green Racer in Gosei Sentai Dairanger. So it's quite cool that, you know, he's just a bit part in this. And yeah, what, Kakaranger, O-Ranger, like 3 Sentai down the line, he's one of the main characters. So good on him. And I admit, I absolutely love Car Ranger. I can't wait until I've done, well, finished this, done Kaka Ranger, done O Ranger, and got to Car Ranger, because it's such a fun season. Back to this one, however, well, we actually get some backstory on both Kujaku and Gara in this episode, as we find out they were both members of the Dai tribe, but Gara ended up betraying them to the Gorma after saving Kujaku from injury when a wall collapsed. Which, I'm sorry, the size of those blocks, I don't care if you went and covered the other person, you're both getting pancaked. You know, they were big blocks. You're going to get more than a little cut on your cheek. Scar or not, you're going to get more than that from those blocks. It's just pancake time. And, so Gara left because, her only friend left was Kujaku. And Kujaku abandoned her. Because Kujaku was like, oh no, my friend's got injured because she was saving me. I'm going to do the best thing I can to heal her. So she goes off and does all this stuff to become the Peacock Buddha. But she doesn't actually tell her friends. So her friend's like, oh god, well, even my best friend's like abandoned me because I've got this horrible cut on my cheek. Why is everyone abandoning her and like shunning her? Because of a little scratch. I don't get it. She saved her friend's life, pretty much. Surely everyone should be like, oh my god, you're so amazing, I'd love to have a friend as like good as you, blah blah blah. No, it's like, oh no, she's got a scar on her face. No, stay away from her. It might be contagious. She got it from being nice. She got it for being brave and protecting her friends, but everyone shuns her for it. I'm sorry, I don't get that. But yeah, so this 6,000 year grudge, which is what the episode's called, is all because these two women could not communicate properly. And that is so believable. Now, I'm not being sexist. I'm honestly not. Because it happens with guys as well. But not to the same extent. I've got two daughters. One is currently 17, the other one's currently 12. So next January, I'll be saying I've got two teenage daughters. Pity me. Pity me. And yeah, they don't listen to anyone or anything. I mean, they accuse me of never listening to them, but they don't listen to a word I say or their mum. And I don't think they listen to what their friends say either, because they fall out with their friends every 5 bloody minutes over stupid little misunderstanding. And then they get back together, and then they fall out again, and then they get back together, and then they fall out again. Ugh. This is why I do YouTube. So I've got an excuse to lock that door. And I just lock myself away and go, I'm busy. Please save me. Yeah. So, yeah, the whole misunderstanding thing, believable. Maybe taken a little bit to extreme, but yeah. Although I got to say, out of my mates, none of them have ever joined an evil group and tried to murder me and all my, compatriots. So, win one for the guys. We've never done that. I'm joking. There is at least one more Kujaku episode to go, because obviously they're still looking for that sacred tear. But I've even got in my notes that I have to admit she isn't as bad as she's been previously. But I think part of that is because she's been weakened so much by the pollution in modern day air that she's not strong enough to be as irritating as she was before, because now her feathers are just falling out constantly. No Kameo or Ku/Kiba Ranger at all in this episode, which is a bit of a shame, because I mean Kameo's like a really good character, and I've come to quite enjoy Ku, so, and Kiba Ranger as a whole. As for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Season 2, Episode 31, when is a Ranger not a Ranger? When they're ajar. No, wait, that's a door. But, it's an interesting episode. It's one of the ones I can sort of sit through, because it is a little difficult to sit through, some of these episodes now. But Kaleidoscope has been renamed Scatterbrain, and he no longer creates illusions like he does in the show, in Dairanger. He actually wipes people's memories, which leads to one of the best moments where Bulk and Skull, who are waiting for the Power Rangers, actually see them and they find out their identities. Finally, they've been trying for at least all season, if not partway into season 1. I think it's a season 2 thing. But they find out who the Power Rangers are. And then they end up going on to save the Power Rangers, knowing that it's those dweebs, or those nerds, or whatever they call them. But in doing so, they get their minds wiped, which I think is a big shame. I wish they'd carried on knowing, but sort of changed it a bit so they sort of, every now and again, they could help the Rangers behind the scenes, rather than carrying on with their trying to find out who the Power Rangers are. Because, I don't know. As for footage, they actually filmed original footage. They got the monster costume, with scenes filmed for Angel Grove Park and in the desert. Though, when it comes to the archive footage, the only archive footage they used, as far as I could tell, was the Megazord fight. Although, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but it felt, when I was watching it, like they actually sped up the footage a little bit. Not a lot, but just enough it felt a little bit quicker to me. I don't know. But either way, I'm looking forward to next week's one. And, you have to see it. It's an enormous one, which is almost the episode title. I'll see you next week.